If you've been wondering how to use Elementor Container, you're in the right place. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the modern Flexbox container system in Elementor, step by step, so you can build cleaner layouts faster and with way more flexibility than the old sections and columns method. This is especially helpful if you want a lightweight design workflow, better spacing control, and responsive layouts that are easier to manage. And if this tutorial helps you out, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more Elementor and WordPress tutorials just like this. Alright, let's jump in. First, open your page in Elementor and add a new container. To do that, click the plus icon and choose the container structure you want. If you choose the column style structure, your widgets will stack vertically one under another. If you choose the row style structure, your widgets will sit side by side. This is the first big difference in how Elementor containers work, because the direction you choose sets the foundation for your layout. Now let's look at the 4 essential controls you need to know. Click the container handle, which is the small grey grid icon, and then look over at the Layout tab on the left-hand panel. The first and most important setting is direction. If you click horizontal, your items will flow in a row. If you click vertical, your items will stack in a column. Think of this as the main switch that controls the behavior of the whole container. Next is justify content. This setting controls how items move along the main axis. For example, if you choose center, everything will move into the middle. If you choose space between, Elementor will push the first item all the way to the left and the last item all the way to the right, which is perfect for things like headers, navigation areas, or hero sections. After that, you have align items. This controls alignment on the cross axis. A very common use case is setting this to center when you have an icon next to text and you want both elements to sit perfectly aligned in the middle. This small adjustment can make a layout look much more polished instantly. Then you have gap. Instead of manually adding margins to every single widget, you can use the gap slider to create equal spacing between everything inside the container. This makes your design cleaner, easier to manage, and much more consistent. It also saves time because you're spacing the container contents in one place instead of adjusting each item separately. Now, let's move on to nesting containers, because this is where Elementor containers become really powerful. Nesting simply means placing containers inside other containers. For example, you can create a parent container and set it to vertical so it stacks sections or rows on top of each other. Then inside that parent container, you can place a child container set to horizontal, so you can put an image and some text side by side. This gives you far more control over structure and makes complex layouts much easier to build. To do this, drag a container widget from the left panel and drop it inside an existing container on your page. From there, you can configure each container separately. One container can control the overall page section, while the nested container can control the items inside that section. This is one of the biggest advantages of the Flexbox container system because it lets you build modern responsive layouts without fighting against rigid columns. Now, let's make the layout responsive. In Elementor, responsive design is very important, especially if you want your site to look good on phones and tablets. Click the responsive mode icon in the bottom left and switch to mobile view. Once you're there, click your container handle again. If your desktop layout is horizontal, you may want to change it to vertical on mobile so the content stacks nicely on a smaller screen. When you click the vertical option while in mobile view, it only applies to mobile, so your desktop design stays the same. That means you can customize each device view without affecting the others, which is exactly what you want for a professional layout. As you're building, keep testing the spacing, alignment, and direction for each devices. Small changes can make a huge difference in readability and user experience. And if you want a layout to look more balanced, always check how the container behaves on mobile before you publish. Once everything looks good, don't forget the final step. Click the green update button to save your changes. That's it. You've now learned how to use Elementor Container effectively in the free version, how to control direction, justify content, align items, gap, nesting, and responsive behavior. If this video helped you, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next Elementor tutorial. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.